Summer's here. It arrived today, and if anything says summer, it's storms in Colorado.
Yeah, these storms, you think Mother Nature arrived, the solstice arrived, and the Rolling Stones rolled into town, and all this is going on in the next few hours. So the weather, as Lauren's been indicating, is a very important, very strategic thing for people to make sure that they're planning properly for what's happening in their areas and know what's going on. Yeah,
and I know this morning we heard Chris Bianchi and Corey talking about kind of this tropical depression that's still moving around the system and the impact we're feeling. You could feel it. Something was probably going to happen with the heating of the day. A lot of people on the west side felt it first. As we're watching the areas of Weld County and Greeley, people in the foothills, they already saw the heavy rain and hail. This is the view in Arvada. Emily Schwartz spotted some small hail, heavy rain. This is near 70th and Carr. Lots of folks there have been talking about the thunder was really loud earlier this afternoon. And, you need the rain. You pass on the other stuff, but we'll take the rain.
So we also want to get a look again at Corey Reppenhagen's shot. He is up in Weld County. We've been following along with what he's been seeing, and the weather's been very heavy there from Greeley on up past Fort Collins, tracking to the north and east. But Corey earlier showed us that dust NATO, if you will, that he saw blowing up. Yeah, and they've been
warning about landspouts and spouts, and I know that they're weakened. They're not like a real tornado, but once you're under that kind of warning, Corey, is that just the conditions you need for something that could be much bigger?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a convergence zone is what we call it, where the winds coming in two different directions collide, and it created a really big zone. And what that does is just gets the air spinning on the ground, and then once the thunderstorms rolled over top of that spinning air, it started pulling those little spinning vortices, what we call them, into the thunderstorm. And sometimes it turns into a full-on landspout tornado where it's attached to the ground and the cloud, and a lot of times it's just a little spin up on the ground, and I think that's might have been what we saw earlier from my camera view. But that's the kind of situation that we're looking for. So landspouts are just tornadoes that are not, the rotation doesn't form in the storm, it forms on the ground before the storm.
Watching you, we know that you're south of Greeley, probably heading into Greeley at this point, and we want to stay with you, Corey, as well as 9 News meteorologist Lauren Robinson to give us all the updates at this point, because we want to make sure we know when these warnings expire and what we're looking at. Lauren?
Yeah, and we're going to continue to monitor these storms for you. So according to the National Weather Service, within this tornado warning area, there are over 22,000 residents here. So you want to make sure that all 22,000 of these residents are safe. And how you do that is by seeking shelter immediately and staying within that shelter throughout the warning. Now, we do still have this tornado warning in effect for another 3 minutes or so, but with it, we're still watching for a lot of other elements, even outside of this tornado warning. Now, the tornado warning was radar indicated, but with it, we're still going to watch for hail. We're going to watch for heavy downpours that could cause some flooding. We're watching for lots of lightning and thunder, and we're also watching for damaging winds. There are a lot of elements that are falling from this storm that's really centrally located here, and you can see as tight as this system is, that's really what helps all of that energy just kind of ramp up just in one area, and then that creates the stronger storms. That, along with the heat we saw today, it got really hot today, especially considering the last few days have been maxing out in the 70s. We made it into the 90s today, so it was a hot day out there, and that really helps give these storms energy to just kind of erupt as they do. Now, we're taking a look. It looks like the hail signature is becoming a bit lighter here. That's good news for any vehicles, homes, things like that, because again, within this entire severe thunderstorm watch area, we've been expecting the possibility for up to tennis ball size hail, damaging winds up to around 50 miles per hour, heavy downpours, localized flooding, especially across the burn scar areas. We've also been watching for the possibility for those landspouts throughout the afternoon. Corey Reppenhagen was lucky enough to catch one safely on camera, but we're going to continue to watch for those possibilities. Now, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just popped up, kind of as expected. This is going to follow the storm until the storm really peters out as it moves away. Now, we're going to continue to watch for this severe thunderstorm warning until 4 4:45. Again, anyone in these areas, you want to make sure that you're being really safe with these storms. Now, we're going to continue to watch for some hail. I think as these as the hail signatures are kind of getting smaller and lighter in color, we're going to watch for maybe smaller than tennis ball size hail, but maybe up to golf ball size hail can still be very damaging. We're also going to watch for those winds to become damaging, gusting up to 50, 60 miles per hour. And again, even though that tornado warning was radar indicated, we're still going to watch for the possibility for physical tornadoes. And it looks like we're going to continue to watch for that here with this tornado warning being extended now until, this is the same one until 4:15. The severe thunderstorm warning is what was expected, what was extended. So we're going to continue to watch for these storms again to really pack a punch. Regardless if you see a physical tornado out of your window, you want to make sure you're seeking shelter and you're being responsible because this can cause quite the impact. Now, it looks like that tornado warning was allowed to expire, and of course that's good news for anyone in these areas. It was between Pierce and Eaton, due east of Fort Collins. Now, we're still watching for the strong storm. We're not totally out of the woods yet. That tornado warning has been allowed to expire, but we're not completely in the clear. As you can see from this strong storm that's going to continue its way to the northeast. So the severe thunderstorm warning looks like it's just ahead of the body of the majority of this storm, but that's because we're just going to watch for it to continue to move along this northeasterly track. Now, again, this is where we're likely seeing some good hail. This is going to be through Pierce, near Eaton, and then a little bit down near Greeley. We're also watching for just heavy downpours here. With these thick downpours, this is where we're going to watch for that localized flooding, especially with hail already on the ground. That clogs that drainage area, and then that water just starts to rise. So we're going to watch for localized flooding. We're also going to watch for lots of lightning and thunder, and then those gusty winds. Now, I'm going to turn the lightning back on here and the motion just so we can see how this storm is moving with all of the lightning in place as well. We're going to continue to watch for this storm to push its way to the northeast. It's now moving away from areas like Pierce and Eaton, and it's going to move a bit more to the northeast as it finally pushes its way toward the Nebraska Panhandle along its trek. But with it, the good news is that tornado warning was allowed to expire. The maybe not so good news is we're still going to watch for hail. We're still going to watch for damaging winds, localized flooding, heavy downpours. We're going to continue to watch for all of those elements. Now, we do have another live look out in the scene, out from the scene. I think we have a camera from CDOT. This is going to be near Loveland, Highway 34, where again, you can just see that sharp contrast between the storms off to the right and then the sun shining there off to the left. From this camera, really all we've been able to see maybe some wet roads. It doesn't look like we can see much hail even on the ground, not a lot of lightning and thunder visible from this angle, but I think we've had a couple of different CDOT camera angles. If we have any others lined up that we can kind of take a tour around the area, that might be helpful. But this one again is near Loveland. Do we have any other camera angles that we can push to? All right, yeah, we're gonna get some more out there. But again, with these different angles, really what a lot of these are seeing is just going to be on the outside of the storm, especially with most of the cameras being along I-25. We can look toward the storm, but looking inside of it is really hard just because of its placement. Now, good news for anyone worried about hail is the hail signature is kind of spreading out. It looks like it's dying out a bit even. So we're going to look for that hail to continue to decrease in size, but we are going to continue to look for heavy rain downpours in place of that hail here, where we're seeing these red and orange colors all across the storm. Now, another piece of good news is the storm is seeming to spread out a bit, and as it elongates, that means all of the energy just has to cover more area, so it's less likely to stay severe as it spreads out. Now, let's go ahead and take another live look outside where we do have a camera of CDOT. This is going to be south of Fort Collins along I-25. This one looks a lot like what we saw just a moment ago, where you can see that sharp contrast between maybe some people right inside of the heart of Fort Collins not seeing a whole lot, but then if you're just east of Fort Collins, this is where we're looking for those strongest storms. So we're going to continue to follow this storm as we push along. Now, the storm, again, is spreading out quite a bit, and that's helpful as it comes to severity, because when a severe storm really gets ramping, all of the energy is just in a small little bubble or a small canister, and we kind of wait for that lid to explode, and then that's what causes the severe weather. Now, as things start to spread out a bit, that's less containment, and that's actually better just for more widespread rain and maybe lightning, maybe gusty winds, but all of the severe elements will start to peter out as the storm becomes more widespread. Now, let's go back over to the desk where we do have Kim and Tom, I guess, standing by to help me out here.
That's how we mix. That's how we mix. Lauren, all right, keep an eye on things for us. Of course, we'll be checking right back with you. It's been a very busy day weather-wise with storms in the mountains earlier today. The metro area on the north side seeing some of it, and then, of course, all that activity up to the north around Fort Collins. We'll keep an eye